Hello, this is the daily COVID update from Deccan Herald. I'm Suraksha.
I'm Akhil.
On the bulletin today, the central government tweaks lockdown relaxation guidelines for e-commerce companies and flights. Karnataka registers 6 new COVID-19 cases. And Amulya joins us as we take a look at how Germany and France are responding to the pandemic.
As we go into this recording, several states are trying to ease restrictions from tomorrow, but we're nowhere near the end of this pandemic. India has more than 16,000 recorded cases of COVID-19 in the country. More than 13,000 people are active carriers of the virus. 2,562 patients have recovered since they first tested, and the country has registered 536 COVID-related deaths. The Indian Council of Medical Research has collected more than 370,000 samples for testing from across the country so far. More than 35,000 samples were collected for testing yesterday alone. Sanitization tunnels or spraying people with disinfectants has become very popular with several state governments as a way to deal with the COVID-19 crisis. However, the Health Ministry is strongly advised against this. In its advisory, the Health Ministry says that there is no evidence that the practice is effective in even disinfecting clothing. On the other hand, it could lead to skin and eye irritation and also lead to nausea and vomiting. A look at the numbers from across the country now. Maharashtra plans to reopen some economic activity starting tomorrow after 6 weeks of the lockdown, despite having the highest numbers of active cases of novel coronavirus in India. Inter-district travel will not be permitted. Limited business activities will be allowed in orange and green zones only. Mumbai will continue to be under total lockdown. Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has said that more than 66,000 tests have been conducted in the state, and reopening some economic activity is crucial to avoiding a financial crisis. Delhi registered 186 new cases yesterday. 8 more localities have been declared as containment zones, taking the total to 76. Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has said that Delhi will not be easing the lockdown restrictions from tomorrow. In West Bengal, the state government has directed frontline medical workers to stay at facilities provided for them at their places of work, as a daily commute puts them all at risk of contracting the virus. The state has 178 active cases. Kerala has reported 7 cases today and will start easing restrictions in 10 districts in the coming days. Kasaragod and other northern districts will continue to be under total lockdown. Karnataka continues to be in the 11th spot.
Karnataka recorded 6 new cases today, a steep decline in the numbers from the past 2 days. However, it has also recorded 2 deaths today, taking the total tally to 16. With this, there are 263 active cases in Karnataka. 111 people have been discharged so far. Patient 281 from Bengaluru Urban succumbed to the virus today. She was 65 years old and had been diagnosed with severe acute respiratory illness. Patient 390 from Dakshina Kannada was also diagnosed with SARI. She was 50 years old. Among the new cases today, 2 have come in from Mysuru. Both have a travel history to Delhi. 2 have been recorded from the Nanjangud cluster. Dakshina Kannada district has reported 1 case each from Uppinagadi and Bantwala.
In news from around the country, the central government has reversed a few of its key decisions regarding the relaxation of the lockdown. E-commerce companies will not be allowed to deliver non-essential items until May 3rd. The reversal came about as opposition parties as well as traders blame the government for discriminating against local retailers. E-commerce companies can, however, continue to deliver essential goods. We reported last night that Air India has resumed bookings on several flights for domestic as well as international travel. However, Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri tweeted last night to say that the ministry had not yet taken a decision on resuming flight operations. Following this, Air India has stopped taking bookings from May 3rd onwards until further government orders.
Following the relaxation of the lockdown in several states from tomorrow, the Ministry of Home Affairs has issued guidelines for the movement of migrant labourers to workplaces within states, but has banned any interstate travel. According to the guidelines, the state administration will have to first register the migrant labourers currently living in shelter camps. Next, they have to conduct a skill mapping exercise. If the migrants wish to return to their place of work, they will be screened, and only those who are asymptomatic will be moved to the location of work. Authorities must provide food and transport and ensure social distancing through the journey. The recent MHA guidelines opened up construction work in urban centres and rural areas, but specifies that only on-site people will be allowed to resume work. Satark Nagrik Sanghatan has written to the Chief Information Commissioner regarding access to information related to relief measures announced by various governments. The Sanghatan is a citizens group that works to promote transparency and accountability in the government. The group urges the Chief of the Central Information Commission to provide suo motu information disclosure about money received and disbursed under various relief funds, including the PM CARES Fund. They also ask that relevant information must be provided under Section 4 of the RTI Act in the local language and in the most accessible manner. Before we move on to news from Karnataka, a quick look at how the world is dealing with the pandemic. In this segment, we will not provide the latest figures of those affected or the number of deaths, as we are sure that you have easy access to this information. What we will try and do is explore how two countries respond to the virus and the difference in their strategies. For more, here's Amulya.
Suraksha, as you know, as of today, over 160,000 people have died of novel coronavirus globally. Out of this, 1 lakh deaths are from Europe alone. While major European powers are struggling to manage the infection, Germany has been successful in reining in the disease. To see how successful Germany's response has been to the COVID-19, we need not go too far. We can compare with its immediate neighbor France. Both of them are pretty much similar economically and geographically. However, numbers say a different story. Even though the number of infected people stands roughly at 150,000 for both the countries, the death toll in Germany is 4,000, while France has crossed 90,000 deaths, almost 4 times higher. So why is that? According to Vox, the difference is in how the respective governments respond while first cases were reported. France had the continent's first confirmed case of the novel coronavirus, but the French government failed for weeks to take decisive action to impose strict social distancing measures or promote large-scale testing. In fact, in March, after 2 months since the first case was reported in the country, President Emmanuel Macron was seen attending theatre performances and gathering up to 1,000 people were still allowed. Germany, on the other hand, immediately began aggressively testing and tracking people with symptoms when its first case was reported on January 27th, just 2 days before France's first case. Early testing helped Germany's public health officials to get a better understanding of where the outbreaks were and how far the disease had spread before things got out of control. Germany followed the South Korea model. By now, Germany is conducting around 350,000 coronavirus tests a week, far more than any other European country. And in India, till date, we have conducted 380,000 tests only. Now, France and Germany are both in lockdown, just like India. However, while France will continue to be under lockdown till May 11, Germany is planning to reopen part of its economy next week. Of course, there is a certain amount of luck involved here. Germany's exceptional pharma industry and the lower average age of infected has helped to keep the count low. There's a lesson for India here. While lockdown and social distancing is fundamental to check the spread of the virus, it is not enough without aggressive testing.
Thanks, Amulya, for that. Moving on to news from Karnataka, Dakshina Kannada District in charge Minister Kota Srinivas Pujari has said that 2,000 rupees has been deposited in the bank account of each of the 6,122 construction workers who are registered with the Labour Department in Dakshina Kannada District. The amount will be deposited in the accounts of other registered construction workers at the earliest. Following the lockdown, the Zoom app had become popular across the world to conduct meetings as well as online classes. However, following reports that the app is vulnerable to attacks, the union government issued an advisory to all states telling them that the app is not safe. In Karnataka, the State Technical Education Department has directed all its colleges to discontinue using Zoom app while conducting online classes. The department has recommended the use of a free app developed by TCS or any other apps recommended by the All India Council for Technical Education to conduct online classes from now on.
And before we go, a conundrum in Kerala. Are temple elephants pets or domestic animals? March and April is a peak season for the elephants given the temple festivals. However, most elephants were in transit when the lockdown was announced and they were stuck in various places. The Kerala government sanctioned 5 crores to these elephants to make sure that they have enough food. But in its order, it refers to the elephants as domestic animals. Animal rights activists are up in arms, saying that these elephants at best can only be called captive elephants and not pets. Kerala government has agreed to issue a clarification. That's all from Suraksha and me today. For the latest updates, log on to DeccanHerald.com. Stay safe, stay indoors, and we'll see you tomorrow.